It's another chocolate chip cookie that's rumored to be the best in the world. Levain Bakery makes a massive cookie that's wildly popular among New Yorkers and tourists alike. Our favorite cookie copycatter, Cy Foster, is here to save us the trip to New York City. Now, does this cookie live up to the hype, live up to the name and the long lines we see in New York for these?
It definitely does. This has probably, well, not probably, this is the most popular recipe in 8.5 years that I've been blogging on my website. So, and I think I put it up in January, and it has just gone wild. So
okay, so what
makes
this so different than just your ordinary chocolate chip cookie?
So you can see how big they are, and I mean, if you pick them up, I only bake usually 4 per pan. You pick them up, they're just, you know, they're enormous.
Yes.
They weigh almost a half a pound per cookie. They're really huge. They're, you know, just the volume itself, I think, is what's so appealing to people.
Okay.
And so it's just really, it's basic cookie ingredients. We're talking about nothing out of the ordinary here. We've got, you know, the regular butter, flour, soda powder, salt, sugars. And then the thing that really sets this apart, though, is the fact that a couple of things. You're using cake flour, part all-purpose flour. Oh, okay. And that's giving it a little bit of a tender crumb. And then you're also using a lot of nuts and chocolate chips. Okay. So we're talking about 2 cups of chocolate chips or a package of chocolate chips, and then also 2 cups of walnuts.
Wow, that is a lot. And if you see on the inside, and one thing, these are nice and crispy on the outside, but then when you break them open, they're super dense and kind of doughy almost, but cooked on the inside. Oh, my mouth's watering. Oh no, I need to put this down right now.
They are just amazing. So we'll just go through. So when you put these together, like I said, it's a basic chocolate chip cookie recipe. I did a lot of research when I was making these cookies, and the women that came up with this recipe and opened this bakery are triathletes, and they wanted a treat that was going to fill them up after they were, you know, had worked out. And so this is what they came up with, and so they're really dense. They're a really big treat.
And now you were talking to me about they're filled with walnuts, like you said. So that if you don't like walnuts, that can pose a little bit of an issue. Right. But that could possibly be substituted for what?
Right. You can substitute those out. You could use a pecan if you want. I have had people tell me that they've left the walnuts out, and also people come back and say, oh, my cookies turned out flat. And I'm thinking, how could they possibly turn out flat? So we're going to shape a cookie, and I'll show you. Okay. And they're baked for a really short period of time. So when I drilled it down and found out why some people were having problems with their cookies going flat, it's because they weren't putting the walnuts in. And they were trying to just substitute and put a little bit of flour in. But really, you need to, if you think about this logically, if you're making a cookie recipe and you are leaving out this much in volume, in dry volume, you're going to get a different result. You're not going to get this great big tall cookie. This is part of what supports the cookie and keeps it tall. Okay. So you're going to have to compensate for that. And I would say, you can add a little more flour, like a 1/4 cup of flour, but I think if you really don't want nuts in these cookies, you should add probably another 2 cups of chocolate chips.
So whatever you'd put it in the walnuts, put it in the chocolate chips. And now another big key to these is how you get them out and get them onto the pan.
Right. Okay, so I'm going to show you. So normally I would use a scoop when I'm making cookies, right? I would use a scoop, and I have all different types of scoops and sizes of scoops, and that's what I generally use when I'm shaping and making cookies. But for this cookie, when you watch a video that the owners show, they're doing a throwdown with Bobby Flay, and then also they have a recipe or a video where they're showing how they make the cookies. They won't disclose the amounts or exactly what they're putting in, but I slowed it down and watched it very carefully. And one of the things they do is they don't use a scoop. They shape the cookie.
Putting the scoop
so we're going to turn the little scale on.
And you actually weigh out the amount.
Yes, you weigh these out, and you are going to get, so this one's 6.8 here. You want a 6-ounce cookie. So you want, you know, nearly a half a pound. And the reason why they said they went with a 6-ounce cookie was they felt like a half a pound didn't bake up quite right. Okay. So the 6-ounce cookie, and also you kind of want the cookie, they say no baseballs, so they don't want you to use a scoop, but you want the cookie so that it's kind of rough looking.
Okay,
right?
so don't make this perfect ball that's going to be nice and compact.
So when I put the cookie down, you can kind of tell, you know, how big it's supposed to be after you've made it a few times. But you just want to shape it and then just set it on the pan. It's an ungreased pan. And then I get about 4 per jelly roll pan. So that's it. And you want to make sure, you know, don't flatten them out. Don't, you know, it's
don't
going
do
to
anything
bake down.
weird. Just kind of break it up.
It's just it's gonna naturally spread a little bit and flatten a little bit, and then you just bake this in a 400-degree oven. And it's a short time. It's, well, depending on if you use convection bake or regular bake, it's about, the ones that I baked this morning, I did convection 400 for about, I think 7 to 8 minutes.
And is there a key indicator to tell when this type of cookie is ready?
You want to just look at it. You want to have a nice golden brown color like we have here. And the cookie is just barely going to form that crust on top.
Okay.
So that's it.
Wonderful.
So
and I
really
think
simple.
this one over here looks a little too big. I think it needs to be smaller.
Help that one
I'll
out.
help this one a little bit. There we go.
Yeah.
Oh
So,
my goodness,
Aren't
that
they
is
good?
delicious.
Here, you've got to taste the one that's baked.
Okay,
See
hold
what you
on.
think.
Hold the phone, guys.
Aren't they so good? They're really great breakfast cookies too. So.
That is delicious. I actually have not had
They're
one of those,
amazing.
and that is the true perfect doughy softness on the inside with a little crunch on the outside.
They're really delicious.
You are a master of the cookies. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.